There are journeys people dream about, the road trips that make it onto bucket lists. Driving along California's Pacific Coast Highway, traversing Route 66 in the United States, or maybe the romantic stretch of the Amalfi Coast in Italy. But hidden away from tourist brochures, there's a road trip so daring, so dangerous, that even the boldest adventurers think twice before attempting it. Today, we're talking about the Afghan road trip no one dares to take, the infamous Kabul to Kandahar Highway. This stretch of road, known officially as Highway 1, connects the capital city of Kabul with the bustling southern hub of Kandahar. On paper, it's a simple 300-mile journey, roughly a 6-hour drive under normal conditions. But nothing about this road is normal. It's a corridor where danger lurks at every bend. Ambushes, insurgent checkpoint, bandit attacks, and landmines have made this one of the world's deadliest highways. Imagine stepping into your car knowing full well that the next few hours could change your life forever, or end it. For years, this route has been a symbol of Afghanistan's fragile security situation. The highway, a crucial link for trade and travel, has been a target for Taliban fighters, criminal gangs, and warlords. In fact, there have been times when entire convoys of vehicles simply disappeared without a trace. But despite the dangers, people still take this road. Not everyone can afford to fly, and for some, it's the only option to see family, do business, or seek medical care. That's the brutal reality of life in Afghanistan. Even knowing the risks, countless drivers, truckers, taxi drivers, and desperate families brave the highway every single day, gambling with fate because they have no other choice. One of the most chilling aspects of this journey is the sheer unpredictability. Sometimes the highway feels calm, with soldiers manning checkpoints and the road bustling with traffic. Then, without warning, a section becomes a kill zone. Travelers speak of fake checkpoints set up by insurgents, where vehicles are stopped, passengers interrogated, and anyone suspected of working with the government or foreign forces is executed on the spot. Can you imagine the constant fear in every mile? Wondering if that uniformed man ahead is a soldier or a disguised militant. And yet, amid all this chaos, a strange form of camaraderie exists among those who make this perilous trip. Convoys form naturally, with drivers preferring to stick together, believing there's safety in numbers. Sometimes strangers will flag each other down, exchange updates about the road ahead, warn of suspicious activity, or offer a shared meal on a brief roadside stop. It's a brotherhood forged in fear, but also in shared resilience. One trucker, whose story circulated in Afghan media, became a local legend after surviving 3 separate ambushes on the Kabul-Kandahar highway. Each time, he managed to escape, once by abandoning his truck and fleeing into the hills, another time by convincing the attackers he was carrying nothing of value, and once, miraculously, because a Taliban commander recognized him as a distant relative. These are the kinds of stories that keep hope alive, that even in a war zone, humanity sometimes overrides conflict. But let's not romanticize it too much. Not everyone is lucky. There are countless others who never made it to their destination. Entire buses have been found riddled with bullet holes, sometimes with no survivors. Mass abductions have been reported, and ransom demands are a dark, persistent shadow hanging over every traveler. And when attacks happen, help is often hours, or days, away. Afghan police forces, stretched thin and often outgunned, patrol sporadically. The Taliban, for years, treated this highway as part of their dominion, setting up extortion schemes and terror checkpoints. The psychological toll on drivers is immeasurable. Imagine living every moment of your journey with your heart pounding, eyes darting, muscles tense. Imagine memorizing the layout of the road, knowing exactly where previous ambushes happened, or where bodies had been found. Some drivers develop rituals, saying a prayer before each trip, calling loved ones beforehand, even preparing goodbye messages just in case. But here's a thought-provoking line for you. What would it take for you to risk your life every single day just to earn a living? For many Afghan drivers, this is not an adventure, it's survival. While some in the world chase adrenaline for sport, these people face death out of sheer necessity. One of the most surreal sights on this highway is the contrast between breathtaking natural beauty and raw human danger. The Afghan landscape along this road is stunning: jagged mountains, rolling deserts, and vibrant villages tucked into the scenery. Yet this beauty hides a sinister reality. Behind a serene stretch of road could be an eye waiting to be triggered. A peaceful-looking checkpoint might be manned by imposters. It's a heartbreaking paradox. How a land so stunning can also be so lethal. There was a time, right after the US-led invasion in 2001, when this highway was rebuilt with international aid. Optimism soared, and for a brief moment, it seemed Afghanistan was on the brink of peace. The road became a symbol of hope, bustling with traffic, vibrant markets popping up along the sides. But as insurgency regained ground, that hope withered. Today, the potholes tell the story of dreams deferred, of promises broken, of a country still shackled by conflict. Even foreign soldiers and journalists who traveled this route often spoke of its unique terror. Armored vehicles would barrel down the road at breakneck speeds, trying to outrun danger zones. Helicopters sometimes hovered overhead, providing cover. Every movement was a tactical calculation. This wasn't just a road, it was a battlefield masquerading as a highway. And yet, through all this, life continues. Afghan resilience is perhaps the most powerful force on this road. Farmers still till fields nearby. Children wave at passing cars, though some travelers admit they wave back with trembling hands. Roadside tea stalls still serve drivers needing a break, even if the risk is omnipresent. Life, against all odds, refuses to pause for fear. But let me ask you this: how does a country rebuild when even its roads are battlefields? The Kabul to Kandahar highway is more than a stretch of asphalt. It's a reflection of Afghanistan's ongoing struggle between hope and fear, between survival and despair. For every successful trip, there's a silent prayer whispered. For every return home, a celebration among family and friends. Some people describe this journey as a rite of passage, a trial by fire that only the bravest or most desperate undertake. It's said that once you've survived a trip down this highway, you're changed forever. Perhaps that's true. Facing death on such a regular basis either hardens your soul or breaks it. And for many, it's both. Even international aid workers and humanitarian convoys are not spared. Despite traveling with markings of the Red Cross or other protective insignias, they too have fallen prey to attacks. It's a grim reminder that in the shadow of conflict, even neutrality is no guarantee of safety. In fact, some insurgent groups have seen these convoys as prime targets for ransom or propaganda. But here's something you might not have expected. Despite everything, the highway still pulses with stories of kindness, bravery, and even humor. Tales of drivers sharing meals with soldiers at checkpoints, strangers helping push a broken down car to safety, or children gifting fruit to passing convoys. Even in the darkest places, humanity has a stubborn way of shining through. So why talk about this road trip at all? Because it's a powerful lens into a country often misunderstood. Afghanistan is not just war and terror. It's people, stories, survival, and resilience. The Kabul to Kandahar highway embodies all of that. It's a place where danger and hope ride side by side. A place that forces you to ask hard questions about fear, courage, and the human spirit. And maybe, just maybe, it reminds us how much we take for granted when we drive on safe roads in peaceful countries. Next time you complain about traffic or potholes, think about the Afghans who risk their lives daily just to get from one city to another. If you found this story as haunting and powerful as we did, stick around for our next video. We're diving into the world's most dangerous border crossings, where lines on a map can mean life or death. You won't want to miss it.